Hi, I'm Sean Carruthers, and welcome to How Do I on Butterscotch.com. In this series, we're taking a look at the Sonos system. This episode, we're going to talk about playing your content on your Sonos devices and understanding zones. Now, whenever you're adding a new device to your Sonos setup, you're setting up another zone. When you set it up, it'll ask you for a location where it is, like kitchen or den or living room, and you add that to set up these as zones. Now, this is important because you can actually stream different music to different zones at the same time. So, for example, you can be in the living room listening to one batch of music while your partner is in the other room listening to completely different music altogether, all at the same time using the same system. To play music in one of the zones, you go to the controller and then tap on the zone that you want to control. You'll then get options for the type of content you can push to the player, including the music on the network that you've indexed earlier, listed in the library section, or you can get streaming content from elsewhere, including the radio, or you can use the line-in jacks on the units themselves if they support that. We're going to choose an album from our library, though you can select music in a few different ways, including by individual track, by artist, by genre, or a few other sorting criteria. Once you're in the criteria you want to search by, you'll drill down until you've found the item you want to play. Highlight the item that you want, and then you can hit play to play it now, or you can use add to queue to add it to the end of the queue that you're already listening to. So if you're already listening to one album right now and you think that you want to hear another album after you're done, you'll add it to the queue, and then that album will play after the one you're listening to right now finishes. Now, you do have player controls on here, so if your music isn't playing, you can actually press the play button. If it is playing and you want it to stop, you can hit the pause button. As with other types of digital media, you can skip the tracks by pressing the forward button or the back button. Whether you're using the desktop controller or one of the handheld controllers, you have access to the queue of music that's all queued up and ready to play. You can see all the tracks that are coming up next. You can choose to edit it, maybe delete a couple things that you decide you didn't want to hear after all. Or if you want, you can clear it out completely and start again. Now, if you don't clear out your queue, the Sonos player will remember all the items that are in the queue, and then you'll be able to play it again later if you want. You can also set up your queue to play the items in it in a random fashion, or you can just set it up to automatically repeat. So if you want to keep music going, but you don't want to have to go back and press start again, you can actually set it up to auto-repeat, and then once it hits the end, it'll go back to the beginning. You can use the controller to adjust the volume of the music, or you can walk over to the device itself and press the volume control buttons on the top, or hit the mute button if you like. If you have multiple zones set up in the house, you can control each of them separately, either from the same desktop controller or using different desktop controllers. So if your partner is upstairs in the study, they can control their queue independently of the one that you're using downstairs. Now, if you have different queues set up on each of your devices, each of them will keep track of the queues that they're playing. You don't have to worry about one queue messing with the other one. Now, there are some times when you're going to want to play the same music on all the devices in your house. Say, for example, you're having a party, or you just want to be able to walk around your house and listen to the music no matter where you are. From your controller, you're going to go to the section dedicated to the zones. Click on one of the zones, and then hit Link Zone to add another zone to a group of zones that will be playing the same content. Now, because Sonos creates its own mesh network between the players, it can actually synchronize the content to all of the players at the same time. So instead of having each of the players playing it slightly off, even a few milliseconds can actually be pretty annoying if you have zones that are fairly close to each other and you can actually hear them. It actually plays them at exactly the same time. So no matter where you are in the house, it'll be exactly the same music at the same time. Also, because it's creating a mesh network between the devices, other things that are happening on your network won't interfere with Sonos' ability to actually play music at the same time. You'll notice once you've linked the zones, they appear together in one block in the controller. You can click on that and either drop a zone or unlink it depending on the controller that you're using. Then your different zones are separate again and you can play different music on each of them. Don't forget to check out the other parts in this series. We'll show you how to set up the system in the first place and other ways you can use it. And you can see the show notes for this and the other parts in the series at butterscotch.com.